Okay students, let's start. So welcome you all to my channel, that is Power Tutorials. So today we are having another live session of maths today. And today our maths topic is of chapter 3, which is pair of linear equations and two variables. So today I will cover each question of the exercise, as well as I will also cover few topics. And I will go through each and every solution of each exercise question. So let's understand what is the chapter meaning. Pair of linear equations in two variables. So as you can understand, here we are talking about pair. Pair in sense two. Two linear equations. Two linear equations, and it is also mentioned two variables. So we have two variables here. So what are variables? So variables are nothing but the kind of term we use to indicate any subject. For example, let's consider there are total two fruits. So here fruit is a variable. So I will consider x as fruits. So what has become? X become total number of fruits are 2. So x equal to 2. So x is a variable here which is representing fruits. The same way, if I mention two fruits, among which one is apple, second is orange. So now how many variables I have? Two variables, because apple is second one and orange is another. So I will consider y as apple and z as orange. Then y plus z will become 2, because both are total is 2 fruits. So this is a two variable equation where we have two variables. One is orange and another is apple and orange. And they are saying that sum is equal to 2. So this is an example of linear equation of variables 2. The same way, if I say, for example, second example is considered in a class of 32 students, boys are 2 more than girls. So how we can solve this type of question to find whether how many boys and girls are present? So let's see the first equation. Let's consider boys as x variable and girls as y variable. So what this becomes? X plus y, total is mentioned 32. The second condition, so to solve two variables, definitely we need to have two conditions. So that this is the first condition, x plus y equal to 32. We will have the second condition, the boys are 2 more than girls. So it's boys is equal to girls plus 2. So we'll see in this chapter how we can solve these two kind of equations and how we can get x and y values. So just first you can have to understand what is a pair of linear equations. Pair in sense two of two linear equations. The two linear equations are having two variables. So you can see here, this is the first equation which is having two variables, and the same with the second equation which is having two variables. So using these two equations, we will solve what is x value, what is y value, and so on. Similar type of questions also we will solve in this chapter. So first you have to understand why we are doing and what we are doing. Then it will be easy to interesting, such that also you can understand, and then we can have to study instead of directly going to the questions. So I think you have understood what is linear equation and why it is called pair of linear equations, and it is in two variables. So this is part 1 video. So in this part I will try to cover at least first exercise all the questions, and in the second part we will try to cover the next exercise. Yeah. Let's see how to solve those two pair of equations using first method, which is graphical method. So the name itself is saying that we are solving with the help of graph. So as this is two variable, we need to have a 2D graph, that is two-dimensional graph. So two-dimensional sense, we have two things. We mostly consider x and y, x as horizontal and y as vertical. So let's understand what is graph sheet and how we can use it. So the graph sheet contains two-dimensional, as I mentioned, horizontal as well as vertical. We consider y as vertical and x as horizontal. So as you can see, the axis is divided into two halves, divided into two, and this midpoint is called as O, which is origin. And the origin point value is 0, 0. Whereas if you move right side to the graph, it is positive axis of x-axis. So if it is 1, 2, if you go to the left side of the origin of the x-axis, we call it as negative x-axis. And the point value will be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. The same way, if you go to the top, it will be positive y-axis. And if you go to the bottom, it will be negative y-axis. So here, as I am drawing on board, I am taking, and another important is scale. So scale in sense, the x-axis how I am taking and y-axis how I am taking. So you can see here I am taking approximately 1 centimeter. So this way I am saying for x-axis, 1 unit equal to 1 centimeter. The same way for y-axis, 1 unit I am considering it as 1 centimeter. Okay. So first understand graph sheet. So graph sheet, as I mentioned, it is a two-dimensional graph sheet. We have horizontal as well as vertical. Horizontal is x-axis, which is positive is right side, negative is left side. Whereas for positive, for vertical, which is y-axis, it is bottom is negative y-axis and upward it is positive y-axis. So for suppose if I say what is 4, 6. Okay, no, 4, 6 is not possible. So let's see what about 1, 1 point. So for that, 1, 1, x is left side and y is abscissa and ordinate, we call it as. So let's see, the first one is x, so x is 1 here, whereas y is 1 here. So these 2 points has to be combined. So this is 1, 1 point. So let's plot another point. If I say 2, 3, x is 2, y is 3. It's very easy to point. First go to x equal to 2 value here. From here you need to go to y value is 3. Y value is 3 is here. So just go top such that y value is 3. So this is 2, 3 point. The same way if I ask how to mark where it is, suppose -2, -1. How to point this point? X is -2. So first go to here, x is -2 is here and y is -1. So just from here we need to go to -1 point. So this is here. This is -2, -1. So okay, let's see last point once again. If I say 2, -3, where it is present, the x value is 2, so just go to 2 first, and y value is -3. So we need to just go down such that it touches y value as -3. So this is the point where x is 2 and y is -3. So hope you understood how to point. So if you have doubts, you can also comment so that I can check and I also reply to the question. Clear? So let's move to the linear pair of equations, how to solve using graphical method. Hope you understood what is the graph sheet and how we can mark the points. So now I am going to solve a pair of equation using graphical method. before that, we'll understand how the solutions can be formed. Like if it is intersecting, if it is parallel. We have total 3 conditions. The first condition is parallel lines. Second condition is intersecting lines. The third one is coincident lines. So if 2 lines are parallel, then we say that we have no solution. If 2 lines are intersecting, we have one solution. And we also call this as consistent because you have a solution here. Whereas for coincident lines, we have infinite solutions. We also call it as consistent because we have a solution here. Whereas for parallel lines, there is no solution. So how to find from the equation itself whether it belongs to any of these 3? So for example, we have 2 equations, which is a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0, and second is a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So what are the conditions whether it belongs to among these 3? The condition is first condition, which is a1 by a2. Okay, first we solve all 3, a1 by a2 and b1 by b2 and c1 by c2. If a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, no need to check for c1 by c2. If these 2 are not equal, then we say that it belongs to intersecting lines. It is a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. For suppose if a1 by 2 is equal to b1 by b2 and it is not equal to c1 by c2. So this is condition for parallel lines. The third condition, if a1 by a2 equal to b1 by b2 equal to c1 by c2. This is condition for coincident lines. So you have to remember these 3 conditions. For parallel lines, a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 and it is not equal to c1 by c2. Whereas for intersecting lines, a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. No need to check for c1 by c2 because it will not be valid. The third condition is a1 by a2 equal to b1 by b2, which is equal to c1 by c2 is for the constant. So if we are doing with pen and paper, pen or book, so mark these 3 points, a1 by a2, b1 by b2, c1 by c2 conditions, whether it is parallel lines, intersecting lines or constant lines. So I clearly mentioned only for intersecting and constant lines we have solutions, that is one solution and infinite solutions for coincident. For parallel lines we have no solution. So if they ask for solve the equation using graphical method, solve the equation using another methods, so first check whether it is intersecting lines or coincident lines. If it is coincident lines, you can directly say it is infinite solutions, so no need to solve it. And if it is intersecting lines, that is a1 by it is not equal to b1 by b2, we will solve using the method. If it is directly parallel lines, there is no need to solve, directly say that these 2 lines are parallel, so we can say there is no solution. So for suppose if they give 2 equations and I ask what is the solution, then first figure out whether it belongs to which condition, parallel lines, intersecting lines or coincident lines. If it is parallel lines, directly say it is no solution. If it is coincident lines, directly say it is infinite solutions. And if it is intersecting lines, then we can solve using the methods. So now let's go to the questions. For example, if I have first equation as x minus 2y equal to 0 and 3x plus 4y minus 20 equal to 0. If I have these 2 equations, we will solve using graphical method. First we will see whether it belongs to which condition, intersecting, parallel or constant. So what is a1 value here? A1 value is 1. b1 is minus 2, c is nothing is present, so c1 you consider as 0, a2 as 3, b2 as 4, c2 is minus 20. So this we are getting by comparing these equations with our standard equation, which is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So now solve what is a1 by a2, b1 by b2 and c1 by c2. a1 by a2 is 1 by 3, b1 by b2 minus 2 by 4, c1 by c2 is 0 by minus 20. So a1 by a2 I got it as 1 by 3, this is, if I solve you will get 1 by 2, this is already 0. So a1 by 8 is not equal to b1 by b2. So this is a condition for intersecting lines. So this we can confirm that these equations have one solution. Why? Because these are intersecting lines. Let's see how you can solve using graphical method for this equation. So every time, as I mentioned, first understand whether it is intersecting lines, coincident lines or parallel lines, then go for the solution. Because as I mentioned, if it is for parallel lines, directly you can say no solution. If it is coincident lines, directly you can say it is infinite solutions. But as this is intersecting lines, we will solve it using a graphical method first. So to solve it using graphical method, first we need to have at least two points for both the equations. Then we can join those 2 points and we can get the equation. So we'll say the easy trick to solve graphically. First, consider x as 0, get the value, and consider y as 0 and get the other value. So if I keep x as 0 here, what will be the y value? 0 minus 2y equal to 0, y value is 0. Because 2y equal to 0, y value is 0. Okay, so here we can't solve because both will be only 1 point. So I'll just change x value as 1 and try to get the y value. So if I keep x as 1, 1 minus 2y equal to 0, 1 equal to 2y, simplifies y becomes 1 by 2. So we have second point which is 1 by 2. Let's solve this here. Keep x as 0, 0 plus 4y equal to 20, minus 20 equal to 0, 4y equal to 20, so y becomes 20 by 4, which is equal to 5. So if x is 0, y value is 5. The same way, just keep y value as 0 and get the x value. 3x plus 4 into 0 minus 20 equal to 0. We will get 3x equal to 20 or x equal to 20 by 3. If you have doubt whether how to get this type of question, because it is 20 by 3, I can't get the exact value, then you can just change the values and try for another value, or else you can also point 20 by 3 will be equal to 6.66. So if you try to solve graphical also you get it, but if you want in a particular manner, like I want the exact value not like this, then try for another values. Let's try for I don't think we'll get exact values because everything will become rational only. 20 by 3, 20 by 6, 20 by 7 or any value will be rational. Let's do this way only. Like 6.6 we'll plot and get the values. So now we have for this equation we have 2 points which are 0, 0 and 1, 1 by 2. And for this equation we have 2 points which are 0, 5 and 6.66, 0 at the second point. Now let's plot it. So using graph sheet you can plot easily, but as we're using board, so it can be little change, but still I will try to do the best to solve it in the straight line. X minus x, y minus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus 2. So what is the first point? Let's mark this equation first. 0, 0 and 1, 1 by 2. 0, 0 is here. X is 1, y is 1 by 2. It will be here. Bit of this. So if you mark these two and plot a graph, it will be this is the first graph. You can also cross check. If x is minus 1, if you use a scale and plot it, will definitely right answer. But as I am doing in a free hand, I'll just change if anything is wrong. So y becomes minus 1 by 2. So yes, it is correct. Minus 1 by 2. So this is first line. X minus 2y equal to 0. Second line, we have x is 0, y is 5. X 0, y is 5. Okay, let's go a little up. So this is first point. Towards second point, x is 6.66 and y is 0. 6.66 will be nearly here. If you mark these two, we will get the solution. This is the point of intersection and this is the solution. So approximately I am getting it this as somewhere near to 3 and this is somewhere near to 3.6. So we will see some other questions, but the solution is here, but as I am using a free hand, not sure you will get the exact points here, but I will take some other examples where you will clearly understand the values. But the solution concept wise it is same, just you need to plot the graphs, get 2 points for these two equations and draw the lines, and then you will get the solution. Let's see with the exercise questions, then it will be easy to understand. Okay, let's take another one. Is equal to 2x minus 2 and y is equal to 4x minus 4. So if we write in our standard equation, this will become 2x minus y minus 2 equal to 0, and if we write this one, we will get 4x minus y plus 4 equal to 0, and just moving everything to the same side. So here a1, first we need to figure out whether it is intersecting or not, then we have to solve it. So a1 by a2, b1 by b2 and c1 by c2. So a1 by a2 is 2 by 4, b1 by b2 minus 1 by minus 1, c1 by c2 is minus 2 by 4. So a1 by a2 is 1 by 2, b1 by b2 is 1, c1 by c2 is minus 1 by 2. So here itself you can say that a1 by 2 is not equal to b1 by b2, hence we say these are intersecting lines. So it has only unique solution. Now we'll solve what is that unique solution. So let's plot the graph first. So as I mentioned, I will take the table again. Two values x and y, such that I can join those 2 points and get the solution. Simple technique I will use here, x0, y0 and get the values. If x is 0, x2 into 0 minus 2, y become minus 2. If y is 0, x will become 2x equal to 2, then x will become 1. Same way, if x is 0, y becomes minus 4. If y is 0, 4x equal to 4. So x becomes 1. So I got the two points. The first equation points are 0, minus 2. Second equation points 1, 0. Let's try to solve graphically. This is positive y, my negative x, negative y, positive x. So the first equation, 0, minus 2, x is 0, y becomes minus 2, and x has 1, y becomes 0. This is first equation, which is stating y is equal to 2x minus 2. There is second line, which is 0, minus 4, x is 0, y is minus 4. No, second point is 1, 0. It's the same point here. So this will be somewhere. So this is the second equation, which is y is equal to 4x minus 4. So you can see here, these two lines are getting intersected at one point, which is 1, 0. So the solution for this equation is x is 1 and y is 0. 1, 0 is the solution. So this is a bit easy when compared to other, because here we is using freehand also I'm able to draw. But as I mentioned, if you are using scale and graph sheet, so whatever it is, if we have 2 points for both the equations, you can easily draw a graph, and those two lines where it is intersecting is the point of intersection, which is nothing but the solution. So let's move to the other topic. Okay, let's see the exercise questions now from each question, starting from first one. I'll try to solve at least one question graphically, and if I feel that is not comfortable, then do it in pen and paper, and we'll keep another video accordingly for the graph sheet questions. I'll try for at least for solution wise I'll show it, but if it is not proper, then as I've mentioned now, I'll try to do it in pen and paper and show it in the exercise. Okay, So in the first question they're saying form the pair of equations for the following problems and find the solutions graphically. So in the first one, first part, 10 students of class X took part in mathematics quiz. The total students they have mentioned as 10. If the number of girls is 4 more than boys, so they're saying the number of girls, suppose girls as y and boys as x, so y girls is equal to 4 more than boys. So let's consider x as boys, y as girls. We will get girls equal to 4 plus x, because here clearly mentioned that number of girls is 4 more than number of boys. They're saying that find the number of boys and girls who took part in the quiz. So as the total is 10, we can say the first equation is x plus y equal to 10. The second equation, if you keep y to the right side, this will become 4 plus x minus y equal to 0. This can also be converted to x minus y plus 4 equal to 0. This is another equation. Let's write this also in ax plus by plus c equal to 0. This will become x plus y minus 10 equal to 0 is the first one. And x minus y plus 4 equal to 0 is the second equation. So they're asking x boys and girls, but as per conversation, if you want, you can also check a1 by a2, b1 by b2, and c1 by c2 values. a1 by a2 is 1 by 1, b1 by b2 is 1 by minus 1, c1 by c2 is minus 10 by 4. So a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. So hence it is intersecting lines, it will have only one solution. Let's solve now using graphically. So we have two equations now, which are x minus y, x plus y minus 10 equal to 0, and x minus y plus 4 equal to 0. So first we need to get 2 points for both the equations. The same method, x0, y0, x0, y0. So if I keep x as 0 in first equation, x0 plus y minus 10 equal to 0. So y 10, if you go right side, y will become 10. Same way if I keep y as 0, x plus 0 minus 10 equal to 0, then x becomes 10. Same way for the right side. If I keep x as 0, then y minus 4 becomes minus 4, so y will become 4. Where I keep y as 0, then x becomes minus 4. Because x minus 0 plus 4 will become 0, then x equal to minus 4. So now we have 2 points for both the equations. For the first equation we have 0, 10 and 10, 0. Whereas for second equation we have 0, minus 4 and 4, 0. Now let's solve using graphically. using small graph, it will be easy to draw lines. So as this is 10, I am taking a scale of 2 units now. So this becomes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Here also same way, -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. This side also 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Inside comes -2, -4, -6, -8, -10. So the first one 0, 10. So 0, 10 is first point. The second point is 10, 0. This is straight line. X plus y minus 10 equal to 0. Second equation 0, -4, x is 0, y is -4, x 0, y -4 is this point. X is 1, y is 0, 4, y is 0 is second point. So somewhere y is 4 and x is 6. It should be 7. Cross check the equation. X plus y equal to 10, so 0, 0, 10, 10, 0. This is the first line. Here is the second. Okay, the scale is longer here, the scale is shorter. Let's plot the graph again. The scale should be proper or else the graph will not be correct. So every time when you are drawing a graph sheet, make sure you are plotting properly. Each distance should be same. I'll do one thing. For the graphical questions, I'll take it in another slide. I mean in the part 2, I'll try to show it in the notes. So let's go with other questions which are without the graphical problem, because for board with using freehand, definitely it will be tough for me as well as for you to understand. So let's move to the other topic, and in the graphical questions I will solve it in the second part, that is in the today's afternoon session. Okay. So I'm skipping the first exercise now, and I'm going to the second method, which is algebraic method. So for algebraic method, we have two methods to solve the pair of equations, which are substitution method and the second one is elimination method. So we'll study about each methods and we'll solve each questions. So let's see about first one, which is substitution method. So the name itself is saying that we are substituting something. So what we are substituting here? We are substituting one variable in terms of others. That is x variable in terms of y. So we have two equations now, x1 a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0, and the second equation is a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So what we have to do is we have to substitute x in terms of y. So we will use second equation first and we'll substitute this value, the x value, in terms of y. So this becomes minus b2y minus c2. Now x became minus b2y minus c2 by a2. So this value will substitute in the first equation. Now this becomes a1 into minus b2y minus c2 by a2 plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0. So now we have one equation with only one variable. Here y is only the variable. So using this we will get a y value, and so using that value, if you keep it in first equation or second equation, we will get the second value. So the definition I will show here with examples. Definitely it will be easy to understand, but for as per the definition I will just try to explain here. So what is substitution method? So you have to convert one variable into another variable. It can be x to y or y to x, not a problem, both are same. So if you, and this is for the variable which is where I am converting x in terms of y. So we have two equations which are a1x plus b1y plus a1 equal to 0, and the second equation is a2x plus b2y plus c2 equal to 0. So what I am doing is I am using second equation and converting x in terms of y and replacing that x value in the first equation. If you also want, you can convert x variable in terms of y using the first equation and convert it into second, and then also solve using that equation, and after getting one value you can just use that value in first or second, get the values. Let's see with the examples now, using substitution method first, then we'll go for the elimination. So 7x minus 15y equal to 2, and you have second equation where x plus 2y equal to 3. So as this has bigger numbers when compared to this, I am using second equation, that is x plus 2y equal to 3. Now I am converting x in terms of y. So now x is equal to 3 minus 2y. So this is conversion, x became 3 minus 2y. Now substitute this value in the first. Now this will become x 7 into 3 minus 2y minus 15y equal to 2. So what I have done, I have just substituted x value from the second equation, and using that value I am substituted in the first equation. So now this becomes 7 into 3 is 21, 7 2 is 14y minus 15y equal to 2. So this becomes 21 minus 2, just keep both the y values to the right side. It is 14 plus 15, which is 29. So y becomes 19 by 29. So now I got y value. So what I have to do? I have to substitute in this first equation or second equation, your choice, and you will get the x value. As second is having smaller values, I am using second equation again. So now x plus 2 into y value is 19 by 29 equal to 3. So x becomes x plus 38 by 29 equal to 3. So using here, now x becomes 3 minus 38 by 29. 29 is 26. 23 is 57. So directly 57 minus 38 by 29. This becomes 2 and 3 is 87. So 87 minus 38 will become 49. So the y value is, sorry, x value is 49 by 29, whereas y value is 19 by 29. So the final solution for this equation will become 49 by 29 comma 19 by 29. So we'll just explain once again how I solve this using substitution method. So this I have got two equations. So in these equations, I'm just substituting x in terms of y using the second equation. It's not mandatory how to use second equation, you can also use first equation, but as when comparing in these two equations, we can see that second equation has a lesser terms, that is small numbers, so that will be easy to solve. So using second equation, converting x in terms of y, and then using this equation in the first one. So now I got y value. After getting y value, you can use any of the equations. The same way again I am using second equation to get the value, and also solve using first equation also to clarify that we can use any equation. I'll substitute y value in the first equation and show you how we will get the value. 7x minus 15, y is 19 by 29 equal to 2. So 7x becomes 2. If you move to the right side, which becomes 15 into 19 by 29. So as you can clearly understand, the calculation is a bit tough when compared to the first term. 29 plus 2 is, so 29 into 2 is 58. 15 into 19. 85. So x becomes 58 plus 285. So So x minus 15 equal to 2. So 9 value is 19 by 29. I substituted here. So this becomes 2 plus 15 into 19 by 29. So 29 32 is, so 29 to us is 58 plus 15 into 19. 9 plus 45, 4 and also 9 plus 13. 5, 5, 8, 285 is the answer. So 285, okay, it's already added here. This becomes 343. So if we divide it by 7, this becomes 7 4 is 28, 7 9 is 63. So now I also got the same value, which is x value is 49 by 20. If we're using the first equation also, I got the same answer, which is 49 by 29. Second equation also. So it's not mandatory to use which equation, first or second, but as per your convenience, as per the numbers, you can decide to which equation will be solved. So you can also substitute in the first equation again, you got the same answer. If you also substitute in the second equation, also same answer. But this is a bit easier when compared to the long calculation. So let's go with the exercise questions now. Exercise 3.2, let's solve the first question. So we have two equations which are x plus y equal to 14. The second equation is x minus y equal to 4. Using substitution method, we'll solve this. So both the small ones, you can take any one. So I always to go with second, so I'll just go with second again. So x minus y equal to 4, substitute y to the right side, so x becomes 4 plus y. Now I am substituting this value in the first. So x 4 plus y equal to 14. So 4 plus 2y equal to 14. So 2y equal to 14 minus 4. So 2y equal to 10. Y becomes 5. Now this can be substituted in any of the equations. I'm changing the marker color as blue is light now. So I will substitute in the second equation. X minus 5 equal to 4. So x becomes 4 plus 5. So x becomes 9. So the final solution is 9, 5. If you want, you can also try with first equation also. I'll show you that. So y value is 5. So x plus 5 equal to 14. X becomes 14 minus 5. Here also it is 9. So it's not mandatory to use any equation, but as mentioned, once you got the one value, you can solve it using any equation, you get the another value. So hope it is clear. Let's move to this second part. Here the variables are mentioned as s and t, but it doesn't matter because whatever it is, x, y, a, b, c, whatever it is, our condition is to have two variables and two equations. So s minus t equal to 3 is first equation. The second equation is s by 3 plus t by 2 equal to 6. So for this solution, let's change this to the standard equation form, the second equation. So this becomes s by 3 plus t by 2 equal to 6. Take LCM of 6. 2s plus 3t equal to 6. So 2s plus 3t equal to 6 into 6, which is 36. So this I have converted into standard equation, which is 2s plus 3t equal to 36. Now let's solve these two. So you can see here, this is much easier when compared to this. So using this equation, I am substituting s in terms of t. So now s minus t equal to 3. So s becomes 3 plus t. Now substitute this equation, s value in the second. 2 into 3 plus t plus 3t equal to 36. 2 into 3 is 6 plus 2t plus 3t equal to 36. 2 plus 3 is 5t. And if you move 6 to the right side, it becomes minus 6. So 5t became 36 minus 6 is 30. So t becomes 30 by 5. So t value is 6. We got one value. Let's go to the first equation again to get the s value, because as I mentioned, when you compare these two, first is much easier. So using t equal to 6 in the first equation, I will get s minus t value is 6 equal to 3. So s becomes 3 plus 6. The final answer is 9. So the solution for this equation, s comma t will become s is 9 and t is 6. That's it. Easy one. Let's go to the third question. From now on I will change my style, because if it go it a random way it will be little boring. So I'll just try to make my slang different in between, have some jokes, have some fun, that will be more interesting. Correct? Let's solve the third one using the singing mode. That is 3x minus y equal to 3 is the first equation, and the second one is 9x minus 3y equal to 9. Here is some different question. You can see here that 3, 9 and 9. So if you try to understand that all three can be divided by 3. So I'll change the second equation by simply dividing by 3. So which will become, if we total by 3, that we have to divide by each one with 3. That is 3 ones are 3 threes are 3 ones 3 ones and 3 ones 3 threes. So this equation I have just converted easy now. 3x minus y equal to 3. So if you clearly see, these two equations are same. Correct? So what are the second equation they have provided? It's a constant equation. That means let's also solve this. So that's why I always say to first figure out our condition, which is a1 by a2, b1 by b2 and c1 by c2. What is a1 by a2 here? 3 by 9. b1 by b2 minus 1 by minus 3. c1 by c2 is 3 by 9. 3 by 9 can be solved into 1 by 3. Minus minus cancel, 1 by 3. 3 by 9 is also 1 by 3. So what we got? a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. So what's the condition? It is condition for coincident lines. Yay! We no need to solve this question, because for the coincident lines we can have the final answer, which is infinite solutions. So no need to solve using the graphical method or substitution method or elimination method. We can simply say, as these two equations satisfy this condition, which is a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 equal to c1 by c2, we can simply say it is coincident lines. Coincident lines, the condition is infinite solutions. No need to solve it, simply say yes, this condition satisfies coincident lines condition, and so we have infinite solutions. Let's directly go to the fourth one. Black marker is not good yet. Board is becoming black. I will go to, just give me a minute, students. Just try to clean the board. Black marker is ruining the board. Okay. Now it's better. Okay, don't worry students, every time I'll check my monitor as well whether the focus is proper or not, and then I'll correct it if anything is wrong. So let's go to the fourth question now. Now it's fine, back to state. 0.3x plus 0.3y equal to 1.3. Wants to in decimals, okay? We'll do in decimals only. 4x plus 0.5y equal to 2.3. Okay, let's check our basic condition, which is a1 by a2, b1 by b2, and c1 by c2. a1 by 2, 0.2 by 0.4, 0.3 by 0.5, 1.3 by 2.3. So just remove the adjustments. It's not good to see, right? 13 by 23. So how I change this? Just multiply 10 on 10 on both the sides. So a1 by 8 is not equal to b1 by b2. Nothing, no thing to check about c1 by c2, because here itself it is saying that it is intersecting lines. So now we can go with our solution using substitution method. So here compared to this is having small numbers. So I'll again go with the first one this time. 2x, 0.2x equal to 1.3 minus 0.3y. So x becomes 1.3 minus 0.3y by 0.2. Just multiply 10 and 10 on both numerator as well as denominator so that you can eliminate these points. So this becomes 13 minus 3y by 2. Now substitute this value in the second equation. We'll do one thing. We'll try using red marker. So 0.4 x is 13 minus 3y by 2 plus 0.5y is equal to 2.3. I'm changing this. I like to change. I'll just change the board. Yeah. Be lazy, think crazy, guys. So 13 4 is 52, 42, 42. So it is 4.2 minus 12y is 12 means what? It is 1.2y by 2 plus 0.5y is equal to 2.3. So if we divide 4.2 by 2, this becomes 2.1 minus 1.2y, and just multiply. Okay, no need to take that. Just divide it here itself. This becomes 0.6. Simply 12 by 2, and again just have the point there. 0.5y equal to 2.3. Okay, 2.1 minus 0.6 plus 0.5. Simply say that minus 6 plus 0.5. Simply it becomes minus 0.1y equal to 2.3. So move numbers to one side and y to the other side. This becomes 2.1 minus 2.3 equal to 0.1y. So this can be directly written as 2.1 minus 2.3. What is the value? It is 0.2. Is equal to, so minus sign is equal to 0.1y. So this can be written as y is equal to 0.2 by 0.1 minus 2. We got y value as minus 2. So I'm just erasing the board. You can pause the video if you haven't written till now. in cross check. So now I got y value as minus 2. From there I am solving this question. So y got it as minus 2. Let's solve in the first equation. Definitely, because every time I go for the smaller numbers. So x has, we need to solve the x value. Y is 0.2, sorry, y is minus 2. 1.3 minus 2x minus 0.6 equal to 1.3. 0.2x equal to 1.3 plus 0.6 is 0.2x equal to 1.9, x equal to 1.9 by 0.2. Simply you can also say it as x is equal to 19 by 2. Y value is got as minus 2. So whether after solving this type of question, if you have a doubt whether our answer is correct or not, so this will also be written as 19 by 2 is how much? 9.5. Correct. 6 is 9.5. Y is minus 2. Just substitute these two values in any of the equation. If it is satisfying, then yes, our solution is correct, or else somewhere we have a mistake. So just solve using first one. 0.2 x value is 9.5. Point y is minus 2. 9.5 into 0.2. How much? 9.5 into 2 is 19. So 0.2 will become 9. 1.9. 0.3 into 2, just 0.6. So this I'm getting is 1.3, and our answer is also 1.3. So solution is correct, which is 9.5 comma minus 2. So better if in your exam, if you feel somewhere there might be a mistake in the calculation, or there might be somewhere plus or minus also there is an issue, just do it fastly. Just substitute those two values in any of the equation. If this equation is satisfying, then definitely our answer is correct. Okay, let's go with the fifth one. Fifth one. Okay, they are saying the roots. Okay. Roots, whatever it may be, roots or non-roots, decimal, integers, fractional. Concept is very direct. Substitute one in terms of other and get the solution. That's it. So here itself you can say that here both are positive, here both one is positive, one is negative. So directly it will be a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. Simply the sign is different, so no need to check for the numbers. So as a1 by 2 is not equal to b1 by b2, what we can say, both are intersecting lines, and we have only one solution. Let's solve that one solution now with substitution method, and we always go for second. And okay, this time I'll go with the first. Let's substitute using first equation. Root 2x equal to minus root 3y, then x becomes minus root 3 by root 2y. So we got the first value in terms of others. Let's substitute this in the second equation. So root 3x is minus root 3 by root 2y minus root 8y equal to 0. Root 3 into root 3, root 3 into root 3 becomes 3, because 3 can be written as root 3 into root 3. Now it's opposite. Root 3 into root 3 is 3 by what you have the second one. This is denominator. Minus is very important. Minus root 8y equal to 0. Okay. Fine. Let's take LCM now. Root 3y. I think there's no need to solve this. This is very easy. If you just take y as common now, this becomes root 3 by root 3 minus root y. What about the right side? It's 0. 0 by anything is 0. So just substitute everything to the right side now. Now this becomes 3 by root 2 minus root 8. Whatever it might be the denominator, the answer is 0, because 0 by anything is 0. except 0 by 0, which is undefined, which is exception case. But still, 0 by any number is 0, so we got the y value as 0 here. Substitute here. Substitute in second equation, 3x plus y value is 0. So 0 then thing is also 0, equal to 0, then x is also 0. So the final solution is very straightforward, which is 0, 0. The question might be seen as the roots is there, how to solve at all. But what is the final solution? So basic answer is 0, 0. Substituted here and this implied here, and here it is 0. So I'm not solving this part, like whatever can be the fractional or root value or anything, because whatever it might be, just push it to the downside. 0 by anything will be 0. So this is the value is 0. Substitute y in any of this equation. I substitute in the second equation, 3x minus anything into 0 is 0. So 3x minus root 3x minus 0 is 0. 0 by anything again it will be 0. So the solution of this is 0, 0. Let's go to the sixth one. Sometimes the questions whichever is seen the more bulkier or the more complicated, there the solutions definitely will be easy. It's not the most of the cases, but yes, at least I can say 80% of the cases where the questions seem to be complex, then definitely the answer will be easy. Fine, let's don't get stuck. Sixth part is 3x by 2 minus 5y by 3 equal to minus 2. The second one is x by 3 plus y by 2 equal to 13 by 6. So here also the first thing itself, we have a sign change. Here it is both are positive, but here it's one is positive, one is negative. Then definitely a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. So what's the indication? These are intersecting lines which have only one solution. Let's move to get the solution. So okay, as I mentioned substitution, I will go with the substitution. Before that I want to reduce it. Okay fine, let's use the same one. What do you say? Previously I used first equation, so in this time I use second equation. So x by 3 equal to 13 by 6 minus y by 2. X by 3 equal to, take LCM, 12, 13 minus 6y. 3 ones, 3 fours. So x became 13 minus 6y by 4. Now substitute this in which equation? First equation, because it has always in second equation. 3 by 2 into 13 minus 6y by 4 minus 5y by 3 equal to minus 2. 13 3s 39. 6 3s are 18. 2 4s are 8. Minus 5y by 3 equal to minus 2. 39 by 8 minus 18y by 8 minus 5y by 3 equal to minus 2. By 8 plus 2 equal to 18y by 8 plus 5y by 3. What I have done? I have changed numbers to the left side and y terms to the right side. Now again take LCM on 18 to 16 by 8 equal to, here LCM is 24. 18 3s is 54, 5 8s are 40, 13 plus 16, 13 plus 16 is 55 by 8 equal to 94 by y by 24. 8 ones, 8 threes. Now become a little bit easy. 55 into 3 equal to 94y. So y becomes 5 3 is 15, 1, 5 3 is 15, 1, 65 by 94. Wow, big number. Now this has to be used in any of the equation to get the other value. But still, let's cross check, because sometimes this type of implication, somewhere if we have a doubt, then better to cross check instead of doing from starting again. Okay, so what is the first step? Okay, I have erased it. And 3 by 2 into 13 minus 6 pi by 4, we got it. Just cross check once. X by 3 equal to 13 minus 6 minus pi by 2 minus 3 by 6 minus 3 times 13 minus. There is a mistake. So that's why it's better to cross check. We'll do it once again. Wow. Big bang. That's why whenever you're doing something, make sure you concentrate properly. Okay, let's be serious now. 13 by 3 becomes 6 by 3 becomes 13 by minus 5 by 2. Take LCM, this becomes 3y and 6. Just multiplying, so this becomes 3 1s, 3 2s. So final answer is 13 minus 3y by 2 is the x value. So previously we got the wrong one. So now substitute this in the first one. Be serious, no comedy, no strategy. Fine, I am serious now. X is 13 minus 3y by 2 minus 5y by 3 equal to minus 2. 13 3 is 39, minus 3 is 9y by 4 minus 5y by 3 equal to minus 2. This becomes 39 by 4 plus 2 equal to 5y by 3 plus 9y by 4. 4 2s are 8. So 39 plus 8 by 4 equal to 5 4 is 20y plus 27y by 12. 4 1s 4 3s. 39 plus 8 is 47 into 3 equal to 20 plus 27, 47y. 47 3s, so y value is 3. This is correct. So most of the cases it's not like the number is, it has to be the number, but as per the 10th standard, definitely it will be a little bit easy compared to the fractional numbers. So y value is 3. Now I'm substituting in, let's use first one so that it can get cancelled. So 3 by 2 x minus 5 by 3 y as 3 will get as minus 2, 3 3 cancels. So 3 by 2 x equal to minus 2, minus 15 will go to right side, so plus 15. So 3 by 2 x becomes 13, x equal to 26 by 3. Still definitely as is fractional, I will just cross check once again. Oh yes, 3. So 3 by 2 minus 5 by 3 into 3 minus 3. 3 3 got cancelled. So 3 by 2. 3 3 got cancelled. So why it is 15 now? Because so again 3 3 gets cancelled. The x value becomes 2. So solution for this equation is 2, 3 is the final solution. So let's take a break now, because me and my brain needs rest. Some of the calculations are going wrong. So we'll join after, now it is 1:04. So we'll join at 1:30. So we'll start from 1:30 and we'll continue all the exercise questions starting from 3.2. We'll complete substitution, elimination, and after that I will stop that live session and I will start another live with the pen and paper, because for the graphical type of questions, as I mentioned, I need to have a scale and pencil, then only you can get the exact answers. So let's meet at 1:30. So I'm stopping this live now. Thank you, students.